I'm Devorah Wallen, and I'd like to share my Tea for Two, my Torah thought, for 2 minutes, more or less. This week's Torah portion is Vayechi, which means, and he lived. The portion begins, and Jacob lived in the land of Mitzrayim 17 years, and Jacob's lifespan was 147 years. He blesses his children before his passing. Later in our parsha, when now after his death, the brothers are afraid. They say, "What if Yosef still bears a grudge against us and pays us back for all the wrong that we did to him?" So they sent a message to Yosef claiming that before their father's death, he told them to ask Yosef not to hold a grudge. The verse says, "Forgive, I urge you, the offense and guilt of your brothers who treated you so harshly. Therefore, please forgive the offense of the servants of God of your father's house." And Joseph was in tears as they spoke to him. Then it says that the brothers went and flung themselves before him and said that they were prepared to be his slaves. Yosef, who's called the righteous one, Hatzadik, shares a poignant lesson for all of us. He says, "Have no fear. Am I a substitute for God? You might have thought to intentionally hurt me, but God had other intentions for the good, and this brought about the present result of the survival of so many people. So fear not, and I will sustain you and your dependents." What can we learn from this incredible encounter with his brothers? Yosef Atzadik knew the truth, that even though something very traumatic occurred to him, he wouldn't hold a grudge because it was all part of God's plan. The Hasidic and Kabbalistic term is Yerida zu l'tzorech aliyah. This descent is ultimately for a greater ascent on a much higher order than could have been before. Yosef understood that if he had not been thrown into the pit and then sold into slavery, and then worked for Potiphar, then thrown into prison, then interpreting Paro's dreams about the years of plenty and the years of famine, then he was made second to king, none of this would have happened. Because of this series of divinely provided events, he saved the world at that time from starvation. A lesson for us today is that when challenging things befall us, we must believe that there's a reason for them. If there's something that we can do about them, we must. But beyond that, we need to have trust that there is a divine plan. There's a providential reason why these things occurred in the first place. Let us all have faith and trust as Yosef did, and not hold on to negative feelings when things occur to us. Let us try to watch the lessons that unfold.